Hello fun people, I'm Isaac Carlson, a passionate advocate of the brilliance of DreamWorks, and today we're diving in to the backstory of Master Viper. And of course, if you'd like to see more magical videos like this one, consider subscribing. Now, unlike most members of the Furious Five, Viper actually came from a noble, respected, and esteemed family. She was born to the Viper clan, who were said to have descended from mighty dragons. The legend went that the dragons had their flames distilled until it became lethal venom that was capable of bringing 15 guerrilla warriors and a mid-sized crocodile to their knees with a single use of their famous poison fang technique. And the greatest member of the Viper clan was the Great Master Viper, who was capable of bringing evil to tremble before him, and was in fact Viper's father. Now, as the firstborn daughter of Great Master Viper, the family was ecstatic to finally meet the warrior who was meant to continue the clan's noble tradition of protecting their village and was supposed to continue the legacy of their family. But it turned out that as a baby, Viper had no fangs.
No venom.
At first, it seemed that Viper would be unable to use the venom that defended their family for generations. Sure, Viper had come from a successful family, but without fangs, the family around her began to put limitations on her potential and declared that she might not be able to reach the same type of prestige that her clan was known for. Great Master Viper especially believed that his little girl would be unable to defend herself, leading to him rejecting her calls to assist him and to continue to defend the village on his own. He believed that his daughter's shortcoming would make her unfit for battle, and that devastated him and saddened Viper. But the truth was that she was stronger, faster, and more capable than he could have ever imagined. But until the day she would go and train in Kung Fu, Viper began to dance for her father to attempt to brighten his spirits, and after seeing him smile, she continued to perfect this skill until she became the best ribbon dancer in her village. Unfortunately though, Viper's life in isolation made her feel too frightened to share her gift, but that feeling was washed away when a gorilla bandit threatened her father's life. Once her father broke his own fangs on the armor of the bandit, Viper's courage came forth and she snuck away from her mother to protect him. Though she didn't know how she would defend him at first, she used her dancing expertise and the ribbons she performed with as extensions of herself, allowing her to beat down the gorilla, tie him down, and defeat the beast. Though Viper's potential as a warrior could be seen that night when she moved around him like a bullet and performed acrobatics with incredible precision, she didn't actually pursue that path for many years. Later, at a winter feast with Poe and the rest of the Furious Five, she recalled how she loved cooking with her sisters during the holidays, which indicates that her parents had at least 2 daughters after her, and this shows that she remained close to her growing family throughout her childhood. Instead of going down a new path to rise as a formidable fighter, Viper instead continued to perfect her dancing, a decision that her father seemed to completely embrace. From what we can tell, Great Master Viper accepted the reality that the traditions of their family may need to change, but that wouldn't mean that he was any less certain that his firstborn was incredible, powerful, and wise in her own way.
Oh, Father, I'll make you proud.
Oh, I've always been proud of you.
Viper's father's thinking evolved when his daughter grew up. But of course, that dancing career eventually would come to an end when she was approached by Tigress to come with her to the Jade Palace. While Viper believed she was making the trip to dance for Master Shifu and Oogway, Tigress was actually accidentally recruiting her to fight a giant of a warrior known as Boar. And if you'd like to hear more about Tigress's own backstory, I've left that previous discussion in the description. Once Tigress had recruited all of the warriors she believed she had been tasked with finding to defend the Valley of Peace, it was revealed to Viper, Tigress, and the rest of the recruits that they were not the warriors Shifu had sent for. But that didn't stop them from going to Tigress's aid when she stood her ground against Boar.
Don't move, sweetie. Mwah.
Even after they had been turned away, they all went to the battle, held Boar off until Tigress could regroup herself, and inevitably worked together to take down the threat to the valley. Appreciative and impressed by what they had accomplished, Master Shifu proposed to Viper and the rest of the new warriors that they should stay at the Jade Palace so that they could perfect their own styles of Kung Fu. And with this opportunity, Viper was finally ready to transform into the warrior her father had always dreamed that she could be. There, Viper joined the Furious 5 and learned how to use her flexibility, precision, and speed to overwhelm, avoid, and strike against her foes. She also perfected using her enemy's own body and weapons against them, like she initially had learned to do against the Gorilla Bandit, and applied that to even more dangerous foes like Tai Lung and new moves like the Puppet of Death. She even became an expert at whipping throwing stars and created moves like Stars of Destiny, and Viper inevitably also grew her fangs. After all of her father's worrying, she did gain access to the powerful fiery dragon venom that coursed through everyone in her family, but by that time, she didn't even need to rely on it because she was not just continuing the legacy of the Viper clan, she was also transforming into the Jade Palace's own Great Master Viper. Fun people, make sure to subscribe for more magical discussions and let me know which member of the Furious 5's backstory I should do next in the comments or over on my Discord, which you can gain access to by joining our community over on Patreon. I also have the show Behind the Magic where I talk about what I'm doing behind the scenes as a YouTuber. And finally, I hope you have a magical day.